The walls of my mouth felt like lavender chalk, and I grinned ecstatically. And when Sissy's hands clapped toward me like the flapping fins of a dolphin, I grinned more and into my armpits before spitting what was left of the crumbled soap into the bathroom's metal basin, half filled with tinged water. She rubbed her forehead, squeezed the skin above her brow, and with both hands, and finally let out a disdainful holler. You worrisome child, Sissy said. Worrisome, I asked. And she turned toward me again. Yeah, you trouble loving girl. You just love it, don't you? It entertains you. Oh, goodness. Would you just leave me be? Trouble ought to be your middle name. You always carrying around yourself with this nastiness. Will you just let me be? I cried. Sissy frowned while moving her head like a quacking duck, up and down, left to right, and up and down again. I'll do more than let you be. Let Daddy find out you in here chewing on soap and once again, she said, we'll see what he has to say about it. Hell, what he got for us both. And you know, I'm not just wasting my good breath here. All right, I said. Sissy's back is to me now. So I softly chuckled into my armpits again. It was something about the way I agitated her, made her eyebrows grow above her eyes, of how her voice would go hard that seemed a bit joyous for me. She was always playing nice, always the one the people of Ojibwe said had the kind of manners and grace all the other girls should model. Sissy obeyed. She always did what she was told, and with such suffering that come along with the doing. I too was always doing what I was told. I followed commands. I followed the grief stricken as I watched guarded hands pull from and toward me like I'm a horse in bridle and rein. And I took in the beck and call of Sissy and Daddy and teachers and the grown neighbors the way biblical Hagar obeys Sarah. The tale of Sarah and Hagar, taught by Mr. Inglewolf on the last Sunday of summer Bible school at the Storefront Baptist Church in town, made me understand the elders' ways of dealing with children, how they give orders like we are dogs without leashes. Act civilized, they say. Mind your manners, they tell us. Act like you got some home training, they boast. You be good. I want to believe goodness has absolutely nothing to do with living and being, since I don't always see the goodness in the biblical heroes I'm asked to praise for my very own sanctity. If we are all made of Hagar, then our own destinies seem to always fall at the hands of the unstable minds of better off women like Sissy, or the silence of men like Abraham, who wet our wombs with seed in dry springs and watch as we are sent away to thirsty deserts. Here, Sissy said, handing me a new miniature bar of ivory soap. Get yourself cleaned. Do right for a change, won't you? Yes, ma'am, I shouted. You mamming me now, and that way you do it. I don't like it, says Sissy. I'll make sure you get no playtime after school this afternoon. I know you don't like it. That's why I do it, I told her. Do you want to see another daylight with Daddy? Said Sissy. You want him to come here and see you smelling yourself with me? We both pay for you, you know. Now get in there and clean yourself before you lose your afternoon playtime. All right, I said. Knowing good and well I cared little for the nuggets of freedom I was given to sit in my room window, gazing before the doomsday of concrete earth, now covered in snow, to watch along of the ways of men and women who folded their bodies up in garments layered like Alaskan Eskimos, to draw away flakes of ice with shovels, scrapers, and hand brushes. The palm of my mouth, the palm of my right hand still held on to the new travel size soap bar, and in the other hand, a wash rag pierced with small holes. I stared idly at the soap. I already see myself taking bits of it as I peer down at the occupied hands. I can taste the tart acidity and dote at the idea of chewing it until it softens and breaks apart inside my mouth. But Sissy's astonishing eyes would soon be all over me again. I looked down at the soap in my hand. She must have sensed some contemplation in me, known what I might have already decided. Stop with that nastiness and wash yourself, Sissy says. Her voice deep within, and her hands are above her head, now twitching back and forth like the antennas of an ant. Stop staring at me like you're stupid and hurry. I ain't stupid, I tell her. You the one must be stupid. Keep up with that smart mouth and I'll make sure to tell daddy so he be the one put a stop to it with your fresh self. Sissy's finger flicked my elbow as if knocking lint off a blouse. I looked down at the bar of soap in my hand. I wanted to crumble the tiny flat porcelain rock up and place the pieces under my tongue. But Sissy would return again and surely send for Daddy, who was outside in the front of the house at work on the Lincoln Town car he inherited from Granddaddy. There was never enough time to make amends with my own thoughts. Sissy had taken on Mamie's house duties, including making sure the house stayed clean and meals were cooked. Every night, she'd have us put on our pajamas and we'd nestle between the sheets, me against Sissy's shoulders, her chest making a cabin of warmth between us. She would fall quickly and deeply into a snoring sleep. Sissy's softness seemed to fade each year she got older. We used to dress up our dolls in star glittered dresses and glide them around our bedroom floor. Now the dolls gather in a box in the closet. They haven't been touched in years. At 17, she has no more play in her. She is all work. The duties of the house, even her close watch over me, has made her into a sphinx, one with a human head and the body of a domesticated android. Each morning by daybreak, we wrestle ourselves out of bed for time in the bathroom. I'm always before the makeshift mirror first, while Sissy opened the top dresser drawer and fiddled through folded garments. She pulled out items for each of us and rested them on the bed in a human body configuration: t-shirt, sweater, pants, undergarments, socks. I peek out of the bathroom at Sissy, who has changed out of Mamie's old rose patterned burgundy pajamas, which show off her tea-tinted face. Her newly formed nipples protrude out of her shirt like the tiny pulpy red and round apples of tree branches. A grim gray unfolded towel rests on the bathroom sink. Unlike the soft touch of towels in Sears, this one is hard and stiff like brittle pads. I smooth the soap onto my stomach, between my thighs, then buttocks, legs, and then feet. I moved to my shoulders, rubbed the soap from left to right until my hands went numb, again twice over, until I am the girl standing wet and cold, and where there is no trace of the odor of my sweat, tart and sour. I go again, just to be certain I've done my due. Even when I am sure of my own cleanliness, I can feel Daddy's humongous eyes on me standing outside the washroom door. He once cleaned me red and raw, my skin burning and hot from all the rubbing he'd done. I was 12. I imagined Daddy now knowing we would not be the ones to dishonor him by looking and smelling any old way in public. Me and Sissy would be without the scent of wild forests or oceans filled with rotting fish. We were Daddy's girls in that way, his way. Thank you.